Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldus and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
Alright everybody, here we are, take 3, round 3 I should say. Friday Night Flies here at Bass Pro in Tawasin. Star Wars comes out today, pretty excited about that. I'm going to tie this one up as quickly as I can so I can get out of here and get to the theater. So today we're going to do a take on an Intruder. Brad ever so kindly sent me a tube kit, so I've been kind of messing around with that. We're going to type some micro intruders. Usually you'd use composite loops like we did last week on some of on that sculpin pattern, but this time I'm going to use a little bit of slopping. I swear this may be the last fly with slopping for a while. I'll try and do something else with a different material next week. But I am going to highlight some of this Palmer chenille. We just got this stuff in yesterday, I believe, as I'm dropping it all over the place. And this stuff is pretty cool. Nice and small, shorter fibers than polar chenille, but gives you a nice big shoulder like you want for an Intruder. Yeah, so let's head on down and get this guy going. Alright, so we're going to do a classic Intruder color here, black and blue. For whatever reason they seem to key in on that stuff. Again, we're going micro size, a little bit smaller than what we would normally do. Just a little bit of a change up sort of thing. So we got Adrian and Lorenzo here side to side. They're probably going to be messing around a little bit, but let's get this thing going. So I've got some, what do I got here? 6.0 uni black. Gonna leave a bit of space at the front here, work my way back. So tubes are fairly new to me. I'm still struggling with them twisting and all that kind of stuff. One thing I've noticed that's a lot different is you don't want to be cranking down your thread wraps. If you do, you can't get them off the needle. The first one I tied was a bit of a pain in the butt to try to get off. So we're going to build up a little bit of a thread base here, just stop stuff from spinning on you. We're going to take some crystal chenille in pearl in small size. I think we've got some of this stuff kicking around too in the store now. Lock that in. We're going to take 3 wraps, just overlapping itself, create a little bit of a bump here. Something like that. And we're going to tie that down. And trim that away. I find putting a little bit of glue on this stuff usually helps to hold it all in place since we're not cranking down as hard. And then we're going to go with that Palmer chenille like I was talking about. So it's quite small, got a lot of good sparkle to it. We've got 5 different colors in the small and medium size. This is the small size. I would like to get more of this stuff in, so if you guys come and buy it, I can definitely request more of it. So we're going to take about 3 wraps, again just overlapping. See how that makes a nice big shoulder there. Tie that off. Trim that away. And just another little dab of glue. Seems to do the trick. Alright. So now we're going to start the back here. We've got a saddle hackle. What the heck is this? Just a rooster saddle in black. I like to find these smaller ones that you kind of use for a dry fly just because they're going to be stiffer fiber and they're going to stick up a little bit more. Just kind of that look that we want for the Intruder. You can leave the end in there, kind of help to even out the body. We're basically just going to preen those back. We're going to take a few wraps here, make a nice base. Wrap away, just one in front of the other. We'll bring that thread back a bit, tie it off. Pull all those fibers back, except for that tip. Lock that in place, trim away. Alright, let's see here, what was the next step there? Okay, so we got that, then we're going to go the ostrich. So I've got an OPST barred ostrich plume here. They're pretty cool, come in a variety of colors. I got them in the black with the, or blue with the black barred. And what I like to do is find the fibers that are a little bit thinner. So for this guy, I'm going to tie 3 strands on either side to create kind of a wing. I'll do mine first. We're not going to go too far back, maybe 3/4 of an inch, an inch, something like that. Basically just tie that in place. And then we can kind of splay them out into a bit of a fork. You'll see your side here in a second. We kind of leave those tag ends, trim them up, kind of where we started the thread. We're going to grab 3 more. So 3 on each side. Again, I'm not going for the big puffy ones, I'm going for the thinner stuff. It is a micro intruder, so we don't want things to be too big. Kind of line that up where we want it. Take a loose wrap, 2 or 3, kind of even them up. We're going to kind of fork those out. So if you have a look, we've got kind of a fork going on. And then we're going to add some flash. So I've got some UV blue crystal flash. Got a lot of good shine to it. Hopefully that's picking up on camera. We're going to tie 2 strands on either side. Kind of get those 2 on my side. Fold them over, tie them in on the other side. And just like with that fork, so we got 3 forks of the ostrich, we're going to kind of put these in between the ostrich. Excuse the beeping, we are open. I don't know what the heck is going on over there. Someone's trying to steal something probably. There we go. This crystal flash is bugging me a little bit here. Alright, we're just going to trim that a little longer than the ostrich. There we go. And then the next step, we're going to take some, what color is that? Kingfisher blue slopping. Really nice color. We got lots of this stuff in store, I think. Maybe, hopefully. Okay. Lorenzo will check for us. I'm sure we got some in here. So basically, we're just going to create a little tie-in point. Again, you can keep that tip in there. We're going to wrap that forward in a minute. Bring all those fibers back, and we're just gonna wrap that around. Probably get 4 or 5 wraps. 2, 3, and 1 more. We got it? No?
Not that color.
All right, so we got the lighter one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got the lighter blue, the Dr. Blue, the silver Dr. Blues they call it. Where they come up with these names, I do not know. Alright, so we'll just trim that guy off. And I'm just going to pull those fibers back. Just kind of back wrap them a little bit here. So there's our rear shoulder, which is kind of cool, a little funky. It's a different look. It's spinning on me a little bit there. There we go. And then we're just going to wrap all this stuff forward. I missed a couple there. Trim those guys. So I like to keep that stuff, those tag ends in there just to keep the body nice and even. You don't want to have a big lump at the back there as you're tying the stuff in. Alright, what I'm going to do now, I've got some flat diamond braid, sparkle braid, royal blue from my buddies over at Pacific Angler. These guys are awesome. Go check them out if you're in Vancouver. Ask for Jordan and Sam, they'll hook you guys up. Alright, so we're going to tie some of that in. Just kind of wrap that back. You can use, if you want to use the fancy stuff, Lagerton stuff is really nice for a nice flat braid. This stuff's a little bit cheaper. Gives you kind of the same look. And we'll just kind of wrap that forward. It's going to give us a nice flat body. Excuse the noise, lots of people in the store buying all those Christmas goodies. What do we got there? We got the Kingfisher saddle, not the Schlappen. But the thing with our saddles that I found is you can sometimes get some that are a little bit bigger. So you can definitely use those as well if you want something that's going to perk up a little bit more. I find the saddle has a really stiff fiber versus the Schlappen, so it's going to stand up a little bit taller. So we're just going to wrap that forward, tie that guy off. These guys are giving me a little trouble. This stuff still kind of spinning on me a bit. Still learning the ways of the tube. Gonna take some time. Alright. Now we're gonna add in some eyes. So I've got some medium red eyes here, dumbbell style. And we're just gonna rock those in. A couple wraps on either side. Intruders, we like to ride hook point up, so it does, I'll just kind of flip those there. Just double check where those are sitting. Everything's a little wonky here. Alright, there we go. Secure those in. Ways of the tube. It's gonna take some time. I'm still learning. This is only like my 12th tube fly or so. It is a little different than tying on a shank or have a hook. The nice thing about the tubes though is you can essentially use a smaller hook. So when you're catching bigger fish, the fish then has less leverage to get off of the hook. So those big long shanks, they can kind of wiggle holes and stuff in themselves when they do their head shakes. The thing about the tubes, you use a nice small hook, don't have to really worry about that. Once that hook's in their mouth, it's in there. Just kind of secure those with a bit of glue. A little bit more. There we go. Alright, basically we're going to repeat the back step there. So we've got our crystal chenille in small and pearl. And we're just going to take 2-3 wraps just on top of itself. Helps create that kind of shoulder. Again, it's kind of slipping on me here. Secure that in. Before I go crazy, I'm just going to fix this up. Oh jeez, that was close. Just the pearl braid. Do that again. Lock that guy in place. So it wasn't a thread snap, but it was pretty damn close. Alright, so we're going to tie that in again. Alright. 1, 2. I'm just going to have to deal with it. 3. Brad, you gave me a defective tube kit. Alright. Cut that off. Maybe Joe at Superfly can send me a new one. We'll see. I know he's watching right now. Alright, so we're going to take some more of that Palmer chenille. When we tie the stuff in, make sure all the fibers are facing down. If you don't, they're going to kind of go all wonky on you and kind of end up all over the place. So that way they all kind of stand the way you want them. Since we tied in that little bump of chenille, this stuff will sit up nice and high. Again, we'll go with 3 wraps. Kind of fighting this here. Alright. 3. Snip that guy off. And we're getting another nice little shoulder here, kind of back wrap a little bit. Add a little bit more glue, just to be safe. And fish aren't nice to these patterns, especially the big steelhead, so we want to kind of lock them in as much as we can. So now I've got that silver Dr. Blue saddle. So I'm going to kind of reverse the colorway here that we went on the back. So we're going to go from blue to black instead of black to blue. So I'm just going to tie that in by the tip. Kind of fold that over, secure it in. Oh, it just kind of broke off, which is nice. Alright, we're going to get a couple wraps here, maybe 3 wraps. This fun stuff. 2, 3. Alright, try to lock that in place. Preen all those fibers back wrap over it. I should get those standing where we want them. Couple little stragglers there. There we go. Any questions, Lorenzo? You're kind of standing all wide-eyed. Lorenzo's a newbie to the whole fly tying thing. He's learning. He's getting the hang of it. He sent me some photos of some stuff he's been doing, and it's getting there.
Trying my best.
Trying his best. That's all we ask. So we'll start to wrap in the, what color was that? The Kingfisher blue saddle there. We're going to kind of layer our blues. Trim that tip away. Get a couple more wraps of this. It's a little straggly, but we can definitely fix that up in a minute here. 4 turns of that guy there. It's still spinning on me. Not the most elegant tube fly tying video you're gonna see, but it'll look good when it's done, I promise. Alright, so preen all that stuff back. Back wrap on it a little bit. There we go. Secure that in. These guys are trying to make me break over here. Messing around. Alright, so we've got another nice shoulder building up there. We're going to add in some, what was the next step there? Some more flash. So I've got some Mirage Flashabou. This is the opal color. It's got some nice blue tinges to it, some nice nice pearl tinges to it. Just going to cut off myself 2 strands here. But this stuff would probably look pretty killer on a chronomid body. I'm going to have to do something like that at some point. Alright, so I'm just going to double that. I think I got 2. Oh, there's the other strand. Get myself a bit of thread to work with. Double that over my thread. 2 on my side, 2 on yours.
Never knew that trick.
Yeah, it's an easy trick to get the stuff on evenly. What the heck? Alright, just gonna double it up. There we go. Kind of lock that down, fold it over, pull it onto your side, tie that in. These I want to go a little bit longer than that ostrich in the back. So everything kind of progressively gets a little bit longer. It's only 2 strands, so it's not too bad. Those you can kind of mess around with, pull them apart. Let's see if I can get these 2 to split for me. That's the way they want to go. Alright. There we go. Still got some stragglers here. Back wrap over them. Now we're going to take some black slopping, which we've got here. Again, we're going to tie it in by the tip. Fold that tip over, trap it in, cut away that little guy. Alright, take a few wraps here, just so it kind of goes over the blue is what we want. We'll get to those longer fibers after the first couple wraps. Preening that back. We've got a few more things to add in here, so just a couple, maybe 3, 4 wraps. Trap that in. Kind of lock that down. Cut away the stem. Alright, at this point you kind of take a brush and just kind of brush everything together. It's looking alright. Now, you could add more ostrich to the side if you want. I find the flash on the side looks pretty good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add some Rich Man's ostrich, some Maria. I got this from April Vokey's site. Pretty good price. Stuff is amazing. You get huge plumes out of it. This is only maybe a quarter of what it was. The thing was massive. It only cost like $8. So I'm going to take myself 5 or 6 fibers here. And we're going to tie that, just kind of clump them together, kind of like so. We're going to throw them on top, just to extend just slightly past the ostrich that we already tied in. We're going to lock that down on top. Pull everything back there. Alright, add a bit of glue here. And to finish this guy off, add a little bit more size to it. We're going to take a guinea feather. I got them in Dr. Blue as well. We're going to peel all the fibers off the... If you're looking at the feather, you want the nice side facing you. We're going to peel off all the fibers off the top of the feather. This way it doesn't overpower the front of the fly. Again, we're just going to tie it in by the tip. Couple wraps, hold that back, kind of break it off or cut it off. That one just broke off for me. And we're just going to wrap this until we pretty much used it all up. It's about 2 or 3 wraps. One more wrap here. Alright, so just lock that one down. Alright, just got a little bit more thread here just to secure everything down nice and tight. Come in front of the eyes, give ourselves a couple of wraps. Need a good base to finish off on here. Give yourself a bit of thread, and we're just going to wet finish. That looks about right. There we go. So now we just kind of brush that guinea out. And it gives a cool effect to the front of the fly there. And just lock it down a little bit more head cement. And none of that stuff's going anywhere. So that is our micro intruder. So it's about an inch or so in length, and then the feathers out the back about another inch, so about 2 inches total. Just to kind of show you what the front looks like. Where did my other one go? That's where it's hiding. So that's the front of that guy there. Hopefully you can see that on camera there. Kind of get the guinea fowl looks pretty cool on there. And that's going to move really nicely in the water. So you get that wiggle out of there. Right on. So let's head on back up and we'll sign out. Alright, there we are. That's our micro intruder. Tie some up, a couple different colors. Come on in, we got pretty much everything that you need for them. Purple, pinks, greens, whatever, right? We got the tube kits as well. I think we got a few left. There's a couple on the shelf. They haven't been all taken up yet. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Tie a few up, and have a good Christmas if we don't do an episode next week. Boxing Day, we got some really inexpensive reels and rods. There's only a few, so get here early. Should be a busy week, so come on in and have a good holidays. Thanks, guys.